Hello. This is Lydia, the lifestyle coach ending eating disorders, and welcome to another live feed. So excited to chat with you guys today. So fun to see you popping on. Feel free to say hello. Any sort of little hearts and smiley faces and likes, comments. I love when you guys are really sharing of your own experience because it really makes this a richer experience. Because when I'm sort of going over the topic for today, and you guys can give your own individual insight of what this is like for you if you're experiencing it, what happens is that really helps you to understand when you share your own experience. And then it also is an amazing support for others, because a lot of times what happens is we think that we're the only ones that feel this way. I know that I felt this way for years. Like, I thought I was just my own personal brand of crazy. That's why I didn't tell anyone for so long, because I just thought it was this weird willpower problem. I thought there was just something sort of wrong with my brain, that I would go into this other mode that was just so unlike me. And so I didn't have a name for it. I didn't tell anyone for the longest time because it just felt so completely foreign. Like, it just felt really crazy and really strange. So when you guys share like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I feel that way, or this has been my experience in that, what it allows us to do is to know that we're not alone. And when we start adding language to something, then we can really start fixing it and changing it. So this happens with all sorts of different problems in life, is we start out thinking that we're the only ones. And then it moves to a place where we find that someone else has a shared experience. Like, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only one, you too. And then when we start seeing things more of a global level of like, oh, there's a name for that, like that's a thing, then what it does is it breeds hope, as in like, if it's a thing, then there can be a solution, and then you're able to look for the answers that you need. So just know when you guys share and when you're here, it's just such a beautiful thing. So welcome, and for those of you just joining, this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach. We are ending eating disorders using nothing but our brains, and we're going to talk about a really commonly held myth today. We're just going to bust that right open, and so you guys can really know the reality of this, because I know this is something that kept me stuck for a long time and keeps a lot of people stuck for a long time. So I'm really glad you guys have been just, voicing sort of, this topic, and this is a great one to cover today. So what we're going to talk about today is the myth of that you need to do something instead of eating. And I totally get where this comes from. Like, okay, so, you're there and it's in the evening and you just think like, if I can just do something else, if I can just distract myself, like we're fine the whole day, and then we just feel like we blew it because of the last couple hours of the day. And then it's like, why did I do that? If I could have only done something else, if I could have distracted myself, if I could have done this instead, if I could have done something that helped my life instead of hurt my life, like this is something that is just so important to be able to realize doesn't work and what actually does. So let's break that down so you guys can really understand what we're talking about here. And welcome. It's so fun to see you guys on. Love all your little like eyeballs and having fun and likes. Thanks. Mwah. Love it, you guys. All right. So a lot of times this is how it starts. We wake up with just this excited feeling of like, okay, today's the day. This is too much. I'm finally done binge eating. I'm finally done overeating. Like, I'm done. I feel good today. Today can be good. Today can be clean. And it just feels different. Like, you have that feeling of hope. You just know that something's different. And you do. You have a healthy lunch. You have a healthy breakfast, but not in that order probably. And then you're getting sort of tired throughout the day, right? Like, it's sort of like the reality is setting in. So you're tired after work, and you're just getting home, and you have some things done, but you still have some more things to do. And you're just sort of like feeling tired, like you've had a day, right? And then you realize, because this is your super clean day where like you're going to stay on track today and everything's going to be great, you realize that you're so busy and you've been trying to plan out your food, but you have 200 calories left today that you can eat and be totally on track. Like, all you need is just one more snack and then go to bed, and then you can have a day that you feel good about, where you did what you said you were going to do, where you stayed on track. Okay, so you can do it. Like, you can keep in the calorie count, and you just need to stay in this calorie range for like the next 80 days, and like you'll be at your goal weight. And you just feel like you can totally do it. Like, okay, I've broken down the numbers. All I need to do is, keep in this calorie range, and then I'll be able to get to my goal weight at the end of this. Like, yeah, like, and you've done so many things in your life. Like, you've accomplished so many things. You've gotten your degree. You've raised a family. You've finished so many projects. You do all this volunteering. You have created goal after goal after goal and accomplished it. So why couldn't you do it with a simple thing like food and what you're eating? And you're right on track. You're right on track today. All you have less is 200 calories, and that's going to be your treat at the end of the day. And then you can just go to sleep and then move on. Okay, all right, 200 calories. What could we have? All right, there are multiple different things that we can have, but like, I'm a healthy person and I want to eat healthy things. I could have a yogurt. Yogurt's healthy. That's good. It's sort of a treat. It's going to be enjoyable. I love that texture. It's nice and smooth. Sounds delicious. Okay, let's do it. Like, let's have the yogurt, and then we're going to be done, and that's going to be great. And you eat the yogurt until you get to the last couple of bites of yogurt. And you just feel this restless feeling, like it doesn't feel right, and you sort of feel different, and you sort of feel panicky, like, this is going to be over, and I'm not going to eat anything else today, and I'm going to have to go the rest of the day without eating. And it's like those last couple of bites, something shifts for you, and you just know that, like, you're really unsatisfied, and if you can just get satisfied, then you can just move on, right? So it's no big deal. It's no big deal. So you're just gonna, have one more yogurt, and you're gonna have a little bit of granola, because just yogurt plain, I mean, like, that's not very exciting. You can have a sprinkle of granola. It's the end of the day. You've had a hard day. You can have a treat. Okay, absolutely. So you just have like one more yogurt with a little bit of granola, because, yogurt is just a fun treat with some granola, like, awesome. And then you realize, it sort of hits you, that you've gone over your calorie count. I mean, a little bit, not too bad, but you have gone over that calorie count. And what freaks you out is that this day wouldn't be completely ruined if you just stopped now. But you really are hungry now. Like, you really feel like having more. Like, you really feel like going to bed would be the worst thing. Like, like, of anything in the world to do right now, having just one more yogurt, that could be it. That could satisfy you. How are you even going to sleep with just feeling this way, feeling so restless, feeling so awful, feeling so off? Like, you have had a hard day. And then you realize you have a plan. You have a plan. Yes. Okay, we're remembering our plan. You told yourself that if you felt like overeating again, you were just going to take a bath. You were just going to do something that just felt relaxing, and you're going to do something that is going to fill that dissatisfied feeling. Like, you don't need to fill it with food. Why would you need to fill it with food? Like, if you feel restless and you feel dissatisfied, do something that is satisfying. You take a warm bath. Oh, that'll be so perfect. In fact, you've been hearing from people, and you've been going to your stuff, and the experts have been telling you, like, you just need to distract yourself. You really need to do that self-care. You really need to really take care of yourself, because that's going to be the way that you satisfy yourself. And you told yourself that if you feel like binging, you're just going to do that. That's your plan. And every time that you feel like having more food, you're just going to do something relaxing. And it's going to be so good for your life, because, okay, you're going to take a bath, and then, on your way to the bath, you just pop a piece of chocolate in your mouth. You don't even know why you did it. Why did I do that? And it was really good, and it tasted really good. And you're going to take a bath in just a second. You just have one more piece of chocolate. All right, you're going to take a bath. You've decided today's going to be so good, and you just have one more piece of chocolate. And then right before you go to turn on the bath, you just have one more piece of chocolate. And then it hits you that's it. I've been having sweet things. Now I need something salty. That's going to satisfy me, right? So you can just have like a handful of pretzels, and then you'll be fine. And then you'll have the sweet, and then you'll have the salty, and then you'll go and take your bath. And today's not too bad, right? Like, you just had a few things here and there. Like, it's not binging yet. It's not binging yet. It's not binging yet. And then you go and you have your pretzels, and then you have some chocolate, and then you have some pretzels, and then you have some chocolate. And then it hits you that with the idea of going and stopping and having a bath, you've actually started eating a lot faster. And you've gone from the salty to the sweet, and the salty to the sweet. And then all of a sudden, you're laying on the couch way too late to take a bath, with a completely bloated stomach and what could have been a night of being able to just lay and relax and be okay after your bath and just slip into bed all clean after your bubble bath, that you're just lying on the couch, you've lost sleep, you've completely ruined today, you're gonna have to be way more strict tomorrow, and now it's not fun anymore. Now it's not like, oh, okay, we're gonna, have this wonderfully clean day. Now you've got to work out more tomorrow, you've got to eat even cleaner tomorrow to possibly make up for what you've done tonight, and you just can't figure it out. Why didn't you take a bath? And you're just so mad at yourself. Because now it's not just that you went over your calorie count. Now it's not just that you binged. Now it's that you broke your promise to yourself. You told yourself you take a bath instead, and then you did the complete opposite. In fact, you binged again. You could have just not taken a bath and not binged, but now you've really ruined it. So now you don't trust yourself around food. You don't trust yourself around your own plans. You start really doubting just who you are and your ability to accomplish things, because why can I figure everything else in life and I can't figure out this stupid thing with food? And so here is this myth that we really want to look at, because you cannot distract yourself from a habit. Because in the moment when your brain is in that place, nothing sounds better. A bath doesn't sound better, getting stuff done doesn't sound better. Nothing sounds better than just eating. Eating and the importance and the drive and the amazingness of just having one more piece of chocolate, nothing else in the world compares, because it's that habit that's wired into your brain. And so you cannot distract yourself from that. You might get one day, you might squeak by and be able to force yourself to take a bath, and you might think about food the whole time and then just binge after the bath. And I know that's really confusing too. But you might get a day here and there, but the feeling doesn't go away, and you start asking yourself, am I really going to go the rest of my life with this being a battle every single time I get home? And every single time that I try to do something else, am I going to fail at this again? You start feeling like you can't take so many more failures. So, what are the chances? Educated, powerful, accomplished people all over the world are completely unable to make themselves take bubble baths. What is the chance of that? That there's just, something about taking a bath that's just so hard. And the thing is that the focus is in the wrong place. It's not about why can't I distract myself. It's just the owning of you know what? I'm not going to distract myself from a habit. What you need to do is deal with the habit straight on. It's not about changing your circumstance. It's not about distracting yourself, because those things never work. It's sort of like trying to stop a sneeze. You might do it for a minute, but eventually you're going to have to sneeze. It's one of these things that you can delay it, but then oftentimes it comes crashing down even further. What you need to be able to do is deal with the habit directly. In the moment when you feel like there's nothing better in the world than just eating another piece of chocolate, you need to know how to deal with that straight on. And that's why with the work that we do, that's everything we focus on, is how to be able to wake up your brain in the moment to the feeling that you have afterwards of I don't want to do that. I don't want to eat chocolate late into the night. Why did I do that? That part of your brain that says, why did I do that? That sensible part of your brain, the part that I call the you brain, right? That's the part that we need to be able to wake up in the moment to deal with the habit directly. Because it makes us feel horrible when we can accomplish all these things, but we can't even take a bath instead of eating. But there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that you're doing something that doesn't work. This myth out there of distract yourself, right? And it's okay. We see this all the time. When people stop trying to distract themselves and change their circumstances to somehow avoid a binge, they stop avoiding the binges, and they stop dealing, or they start dealing with the issue in the moment so that they don't want to binge anymore. What you're trying to do with practicing this thing that doesn't work is, okay, I just have to take the thing that I really want to do and distract myself from it. What I'm suggesting, which we have seen work hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, is take the thing that you in the past were trying to distract yourself from and change the thing that you want to do. You can literally wake up your brain in the moment so that you can change in the moment what your desire is, because nothing is as sustainable as doing what you want, because distracting yourself is, and it's never going to work long term. It may get you a couple days here and there, and that's the willpower trap, right? How many times have you seen yourself go for a couple of days and really fight it out and really use your willpower, and then just see things crashing down and have it be worse than it ever has been before? Because you guys, you're all you know what to do in the moment to be able to change that desire, then that's absolute freedom. And you can change your brain around that. So it just becomes the natural desire to just, okay, have something and move on. So we hear this all the time from our clients. Yeah, like, I can binge. I know that I can. I can binge, but I just don't want to. That is the key. I know I can, but I just don't want to. Like I said, nothing is as sustainable as doing what you want to do. But you've got to know how to change your brain in that moment so that that can be something that is a skill that is just ready and available to you, that you can do at any time. So just know, with this myth of I have to do something instead of eating, it's okay to not do stuff that doesn't work. And I want to help you guys bust those myths, because I know that I was trapped in that for a really long time. I had extremely elaborate ways to try to get myself to not binge. There was one time, you guys, where I felt so much like binging, and I was so afraid that I was going to binge. I locked myself in a room and I started just jumping up and down, because I thought maybe just like physical exercise and distracting myself and locking myself in a room would somehow get me to not binge. And you know what? It worked that day. And the next day I had the most massive binge that I'd had in like 100 days. It was really bad. And that feeling of not being able to trust yourself sucks. It's awful. I get that. And if you want something different, if you want to be able to trust your desires, no matter the circumstance, no matter the time of day, no matter what food is around, and just be able to trust that you're not going to want to binge, and to create that skill, what you can do is you can go to lifewithlydia.com/apply, and that's going to take you to a calendar page where you can actually book a free session with us. And we're going to help you guys get on track with a foundation for being free once and for all from this. So we're going to get that foundation for freedom, which is clarity. We're going to get clarity on really what the cycle is happening right now with you and how it's impacting you. We're going to get really clear on what your vision of freedom is, what normal eating looks like in your individual life. And then we're going to get really clear on any missing pieces that you need to have in place for you to be free. So if you go to lifewithlydia.com/apply, that will take you to the page, and get on the mailing or the waiting list. If we're full, I know that we get really booked out, but also here's a little tip for you guys. Like, check back. Every once in a while, we have somebody with like a family emergency that isn't able to be on their session. And so like last minute, there might be some openings. So like check back throughout the day. You know, if you just set a little alarm and just see if maybe an opening popped up. Every once in a while that happens as well. But we really want to be able to help and get to all of you. Know that the help is coming. We'll keep on opening up more spots as we can. And this is Lydia, the lifestyle coach. Thanks so much, you guys, for being on. We're ending eating disorders, and mwah, goodbye.